Science, but okay, this is a reopening eye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Mr. President.
It's an honor to see you all today on this
Juneteenth. Hey, my God, Juneteenth.
We're here today to discuss our efforts to support our nation's small businesses.
Okay.
Very hard.
So
And
the
safely
past
reopen
Andrew,
America, and that's what's happening.
Mr. President, is August 24th, Sunday, August 24th, 2025 in the future.
I'm thrilled to be
You're in the middle of your second
joined by
term.
two good friends of mine, Governor Pete Ricketts of Nebraska. Pete, thank you very much. And a man that I'm going to see a little bit over the weekend. And
Well, I
this
mean,
was,
good news, bad news. Good news is America's not at war with anybody. Bad news is it's August 24th, 2025. I mean,
Kevin Stitt of
because of Alexis' boyfriend, we might have to overthrow the Russian government. Might. And, I can't imagine doing this without it getting really, really dicey. And anyway, I know, I have a serious surgery with him, Mr. President. This cannot possibly be a good idea. I mean, why don't we just throw the boyfriend in jail? I mean, can we just I mean, you know why you can't throw, because she dates him for about 3 to 5 years approximately. So if we alter the timeline, you will not be president,
Also
basically.
with us
So
are Secretary of the Treasury Stephen Mnuchin and Small Business Administrator Julie.
it's very, 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 very important, because that boyfriend, Alexis Ren's REN boyfriend, is the reason why you're president, because Andrew is going to help the Democrats. So, yeah.
Small businesses were forced to close earlier this
So
year.
you say you didn't want to be surprised.
41% of black-owned businesses. But under my administration's strategy to vanquish the virus and restart our economy, small businesses across the nation are now safely reopening. All over the nation, they're reopening at levels like nobody's seen before. We're sheltering individuals at the highest risk.
Reopening?
If you look at really high-risk individuals, we are really watching them and we're taking care of.
Well, most of this is President Biden's problem, it's not your problem.
Older people, especially older people,
There's something I need
citizens that
to.
have a tremendous, they have a problem. If they
Yeah,
have
I mean, I
problem,
need
if they
you.
have diabetes, if they have
Andrew has diabetes, yeah. So, well, I need to. I was gonna study Italian, but this is something I need
learned a lot
to.
over the last number of months. In the past 4 months, we've conducted
There's something
over
I need you
25
to
million
understand about
coronavirus
COVID,
tests,
because this is
distributed over
June,
1.5
right? For you,
billion
June
cases
18th. It's about 3 months in, and you haven't gotten COVID yet. Good news, Mr. President, you do not seem to have post-COVID syndrome. Your mind is fine. Andrew's mind seems fine. President Trump's mind seems fine in the year 2025. But President Biden, you know the dementia that I mentioned? I might have mentioned that President Biden has dementia, right?
We're all stocked up. Our country is
And,
totally stocked up. Everybody.
You know, I mean, I've anyway,
But we are sending them to other countries. The nice part, and I say it a lot.
I'll find
because
in.
I think it's pretty
I'll find
amazing. When
Professor
we came
Iwazaki.
here, you had very few ventilators in this country.
Yeah, I know, right?
And by the time we started, not one person that
The
needed
problem
a
with there's
ventilator.
something with COVID that
So everybody that
even
needed a
Dr.
ventilator
Fauci
got
probably
it.
does not understand.
There wasn't
You know,
one
I
instance
need to
anywhere.
tell him. Well, I mean, I don't know when to tell him, right? Because there's nothing you can do about it now, anyway. So, American Medical Association,
Past 4 months, tremendous things have
Akiko
happened.
Iwazaki.
But I think probably the biggest thing
Long
of all
COVID.
is the knowledge.
Yes, the knowledge.
of this disease, of this plague,
And
of this virus.
HPV
We
vaccine.
want to help small businesses.
this is the American Medical Association,
I
so
approved over $670 billion for the
as much as we know from the future, in our future, and
tremendous success.
here we go.
We're talking
So I will
about
find,
Democrats have been doing something
hold on.
further now.
Yeah.
But the numbers, the way they're coming in, it's been really incredible. So
Yeah, I
we're
will
able to
tell
start it.
Dr.
We're gonna help businesses and help
Fauci
people.
under the
Today
Biden
we've
administration too, because
processed
this
over
shit is all
4.6
his
million
problem.
small business loans,
Not your
saving
problem.
and supporting an
And it's a
estimated
good thing that you don't want to
50
deal with this
million
shit. I
American
mean,
jobs.
trust me,
That's incredible.
you don't want to deal with
The
this.
small business owners.
It's
we
a
have with us
blessing to
this
lose the
afternoon will
election and then to
receive
have
PPP loans.
because you're gonna win the
Now their
2024
businesses are
election,
on
President
road to
Trump. So
recovery and they're doing really
trust me, I
well.
mean,
We
it's
have a
gonna
lot
get
of
rough,
businesses
but
that are doing really well.
you
We're
don't want to deal with this.
V-shape. We're almost like an
You
I
do-
shape,
you
laying
do not-
straight up and down.
I mean, trust me, you do not want to deal with this
V-shape.
shit.
A lot of people disagreed with me. Not everybody, but a lot of very smart
Oh,
Wall
man.
Streeters were disagreeing.
There you go.
with their
Perfect. This is the one I need to. Got it. Oh fuck! Fuck! I closed the wrong one. It's gonna close this one. Fuck! Sorry, stop. Pause. Reopen. Shit. What was it? History. Reopen. Close tab. That's close tab. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mr. President. I closed the wrong tab.
We have a lot of businesses.
There you go. Okay, got it. I have a laptop, an iMac, and a TV, so I can only watch 3 things. I was gonna do Italian, but this seems kind of important. It's August 24th, Sunday, 2025. The United States of America is not at war with anybody. We are, and the Iranian nuclear program has been completely destroyed. Sort of, mostly. Yeah, long story.
People and my representatives for their decisive actions.
Oh yeah, I mean we kick ass. But I would just like say, President. I mean, okay, is that playing now? I would just like to say, President Trump, that if Alexis Ren's boyfriend had been thrown into Guantanamo Bay, this pandemic wouldn't have happened, and then Iran would be a democratic country. I was this close to overthrowing the government of Iran. This close. You know, so it's all your. I mean, you can't do it because that boyfriend is the reason why you won re-election in 2024. Because I was helping Kamala Harris, and if that boyfriend did not exist, you would not be president. So you cannot actually throw him in jail. But, I mean, now can we throw him in jail? No, I mean, literally. We have. I mean, I don't know if the National Aeronautical Space Administration believes in the devil. The concept of the devil, heaven, hell, and devil. This supernatural entity being the devil, and it is absolutely fascinating. First time I see the boyfriend, Los Angeles burst down, sort of. Second time I see the boyfriend, the United States government had to crash a helicopter into a passenger plane. 67 people dying. Third time, I think it's flooding, and then I can't tell if a bunch of children died in Texas because of the boyfriend. Maybe I can't tell. It's like over. I mean, it's not 100 children. It's over 100 people drowned in Texas. And then the last time I was telling is it's hearing him. No, actually no. I saw his shadow. Before the shadow. The time before that, tsunami, 8.8 earthquake. So I don't know if people of science believes in the devil. Hi, Professor Iwasaki. The date is Professor Iwasaki is 4 months ago on April 7th, 2025. Andrew is on August 24th, 2025 , and oh my God, dude. You were talking
Today
to
we're talking about
President Trump in June
with Dr. Akiko Iwasaki, the Sterling Professor of Immunobiology at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. Dr. Iwasaki has a PhD in immunology. I'm Todd Unger, AMA's Chief Experience Officer.
Me and my mother.
Dr. Iwasaki, your segments are always so popular. There's something people
President Trump, you need to understand, and then we're briefing, we're briefing the president in June of 2022.
It's actually been a while
and Dr. Anthony Fauci in right after the Biden administration, so
has changed a lot.
right after we have that vaccine.
We're starting to see that it goes far beyond symptoms like chronic fatigue, brain fog, things like that. It can impact many areas of the body. What does that mean for how we think about and define long COVID today?
We now understand that long COVID is likely not a single disease, but rather an umbrella term that encompasses multiple distinct endotypes that's triggered by acute SARS-CoV-2 infection. So studies have identified at least 4 potential root causes: persistent viral reservoir in different organs, autoimmune reactions triggered by the infection, tissue damage and dysfunction, and reactivation of latent herpes viruses like Epstein-Barr virus. So these diverse mechanisms help explain the heterogeneity we see in long COVID presentations.
Do you mind if I
Some patients may primarily have a neurocognitive issue, but rather an umbrella term that encompasses multiple distinct endotypes that's triggered by acute SARS-CoV-2 infection. So studies have identified at least 4 potential root causes: persistent viral reservoir in different organs, autoimmune reactions triggered by the infection, tissue damage and dysfunction, and reactivation of latent herpes viruses like Epstein-Barr virus. So these diverse mechanisms help explain the heterogeneity we see in long COVID presentations. Some patients may primarily have a neurocognitive issue, while others might experience cardiovascular or gastrointestinal issues. Additionally, we found evidence for hormonal changes, such as lower levels of cortisol, and also sex hormone differences, such as lower levels of testosterone in females. So the complexity poses challenge for diagnosis and treatment, and we're working to develop better biomarkers that can classify patients into different endotypes so that we can diagnose and treat patients better.
With so many different kind of pathways that you talked about right there and symptoms,
Mr. President, this virus
it's
is
really
nasty as
complicated
fuck.
for someone to get help and get treated for long COVID. Is that right?
That is correct, and it's possible that some people might not even realize they have long COVID. There are several reasons for
Hormonal
this.
changes, you don't even know
First,
your hormones.
the wide range of symptoms makes it difficult to pinpoint the cause to long COVID. Second, the symptoms may be associated or assigned to other conditions such as normal course of aging or attributed to pre-existing health
Early
conditions.
menopause would be.
There's also the lack of awareness about long COVID.
You would never think
Over a
about it
third
as
of
COVID.
Americans have not heard of long COVID. And finally, the fluctuating symptoms, because the symptoms
never got
come
to
and
tell
go
this to Alexis,
and
man. I
vary
wanted
in
to tell her, she didn't
intensity
know what
over
was
time, making it difficult for individuals to realize that this is related to long COVID.
In a prior AMA
I
update
tried to
with
tell her,
Andrew
she did not
Garcia,
want to
Health and
listen.
Science Unit here at the
Not my
AMA, I
fault.
believe she said that up to 8% of people had experienced long COVID at some point. That's almost 1 in 10. That's a lot of people, isn't it?
It is.
This is a lot of
8%.
people, and those are the ones
Some
that
of them do recover,
recognize the disease as
which is
being long
good.
COVID, but there may be
A
others
lot of them will
who
have to live
don't.
with this for the rest of their
So,
life.
given
And
what you
President
really
Trump,
just
you do not
talked
have long COVID,
about,
luckily. Andrew does not have long
let's
COVID.
talk about the average physician out there who's seeing someone come in with this kind of variety of
This thing, was it
Initial symptoms about
There you go. There you go. She's back. She's back. Sorry.
how should they approach that assessment? And are there any signs or lesser known symptoms that they should be on the lookout for?
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
that's a really good question.
You're gonna know more stuff than they
Due to the
don't.
lack of diagnostic tools, physicians really have to conduct a comprehensive evaluations
yeah, and then what if
also
somebody's just a
consider
little bit
potential,
neurotic,
other drivers of disease.
If you're
Some of the
hypochondriac.
less discussed but fairly common symptoms of long COVID include things like internal tremor. We studied this. Over 1/3 of long COVID patients report experiencing internal vibration or tremor sensations that are without visible external signs.
Weird. I've never heard
Second, there's this postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome or POTS that many patients have
I don't
where
understand
physicians
that,
may
so-
not necessarily associate with long COVID. There's post-exertional malaise and hormonal dysregulation and sleep disturbance.
Now, one thing that Dr.
These are all
Iwasaki
common
said, I
manifestations
couldn't
of long
understand what
COVID that are
is,
not
something
very
about
well
your heart
discussed, and
that you can actually
many
measure.
physicians may not be aware of this.
Do people then generally get treated for those particular symptoms at this point?
How, right? I mean,
Yes, if the doctors can recognize these symptoms, and if there are any sort of treatments available, they are treated for the
because
different
this is the
symptoms,
latest I could find on the
they may not be
American so
linking
far.
it necessarily to long
I'll find as
COVID.
much in the same.
When we last talked last year, we discussed that studies have shown that vaccination can reduce the risk of long COVID. Is that still the case, particularly
That should be
for
true, right?
those who haven't gotten, say, the most up-to-date vaccine and might be catching COVID for a second or even third time?
That seems to be correct, that the risk of long COVID appears to increase cumulatively with each infection.
Okay.
Since vaccination has
you
been shown
don't
to
want to
reduce
get-
the risk of developing long COVID to some extent,
Yeah, you
It
do
is
not want
important
it,
that people get vaccinated to boost their immune response against the virus.
So I guess I
In
can
terms of people who already have long
if I have insurance.
COVID, we did a small
I quit my
study,
job,
a
so I don't have
longitudinal
insurance
study
now.
involving
I
16
have
people with long
Medi-Cal.
COVID, who
So
showed that vaccination improved
I quit my
health
job to
status
get
in
Alexis
10 of these individuals,
when I do
while
have
3
insurance,
had
I
no
will get it.
changes and 3 others had worse outcomes. So what we need to have is a bigger study to see whether we can
lottery. I
predict
got
the
3
health
numbers right.
outcomes of vaccination to improve their symptoms and prevent
Randomly
new
picked
infections.
So
I got 3
basically,
numbers right.
besides
Randomly
getting
picked
vaccinated, which hopefully will
It's
prevent getting
$750
COVID in
million.
the first place,
I
as
mean,
you
I would
point
love
out,
to win the lottery, Mr.
the
President.
cumulative impact of multiple infections. Is there anything else that people can do to reduce the risk of developing long COVID?
Yeah, well, the best way to avoid getting long COVID is to avoid
Not getting
infection.
infected.
So wearing masks indoors and increasing the ventilation in crowded spaces is still very important. However, it is not possible to completely avoid getting infected.
The president's out of frame, so I'm gonna.
I agree with Stephen. I
Stephen,
think the
what do you
rescue
think?
plan,
It's been good.
I think the PPP was superhuman, probably saved
We got a problem with the PPP.
3 million.
We lost about like
3 million job increase.
I mean, we got a problem with PPP. A bunch of people in Africa got social security numbers and they stole a bunch of money from the United States.
Mobility for traveling,
So,
almost back to its pandemic.
I mean, I heard something like $800 billion went to Africa or something like that. I mean,
Very
it may not be true. Seems like a lot, honestly.
car sales.
$800 billion is a lot. It's close to $1 trillion went to Africa. I mean, they siphoned about $800 billion from PPP or something.
As you noted, the retail
It's a
sales
lot.
number was a
I mean, $800 billion is the American defense budget for 1 year. So basically, they siphoned that all out or something. It doesn't seem credible, but yeah, we have a problem with the PPP. So we have a problem with the Social Security Administration. You don't know because the Democrats have been using the Social Security Administration to funnel money to their projects, and it's a slush fund basically, because they never check. Nobody ever checks if the Social Security Administration is accurate or not. If somebody's dead, they keep them on the Social Security payroll, and then there are people that are like 170 years old, 160 years old with valid Social Security numbers in the Social Security Administration, and we don't find out about this until the year 2025. So, yeah. Well, technically, you just found out now. You just found out the Social Security. Technically, you found out now, but the rest of the world does not find out the Social. I mean, you wanna know something interesting?
Careful.
We have a problem with
So
the Social
when you're
Security
getting
Administration.
infected, reducing the replication of the virus by taking antivirals like Paxlovid might help mitigate long COVID. For the immunocompromised people, pre-exposure prophylaxis with Pemgarda can help reduce the acute severe symptomatic infections. This may also prevent long COVID, but this has not been tested yet.
Yeah, because your study was
Thank
so.
you. Back in August,
few
you published
people
an
might,
article
right?
in Nature that
That Paxlovid
touched on
study has
many
so
of these
few people.
topics, and in it, you also outlined some existing drugs that could potentially be repurposed.
President is going to be on there, and the president needs to be ready for this. Kelly. Oh, I know why, Kelly. Because she's governor. She is governor of. Sarah is governor of Arkansas. So anyway, keep listening.
To treat long COVID. Tell us more about that.
Yes, so depending on the root causes of long COVID, we could and we should be doing randomized clinical trials to existing drugs to see if that helps. For example, if the cause is persistent virus replication, antivirals and neutralizing monoclonal antibodies against SARS-CoV-2 should be tried because it should help. If it is the latent herpes virus reactivation, we should be trialing antivirals like cyclovir. With Dr. David Petrino, we have an ongoing RCT to trial antivirals like Truvada and Rovaroc for long COVID. And to target the chronic inflammation, we should be testing things like immunomodulators, JAK inhibitors, and checkpoint inhibitors. And to target the autoimmunity, we should be targeting things like FcRn inhibitors to reduce circulating antibodies or B-cell depletion therapies. But as you can see, these interventions must be targeted to the particular root cause of disease. Otherwise, will not be effective.
8%, if it's still 8%,
Right, in
that
that
is a
same
lot
article,
of people.
you also mentioned that some ways we
111
need to
million people
rethink
infected total. I mean,
how we're approaching
8%
the
of that
clinical
is
trials for long COVID,
that's about 10
given
million Americans.
what you've talked about, which is this multifaceted, complex
That's 10 million
condition that we're
Americans. I mean-
looking at. What kind of changes do you think we need to make?
Yeah, there are a few things that we can
This is
be
Professor
thinking
Alexis
about
working
for
on.
better
And,
successful
Dr.
clinical trial for long COVID.
American
So the
Medical
first thing
Association.
is the heterogeneity disease, and having a validated
And I will talk to the
biomarker
president in the future
going
about
in to
human cell circulation.
suppress
sure it's
the
a priority.
endotypes that I talked about would greatly simplify
Because it's 10 million
the drug
Americans, I
development
mean.
and make it attractive to the biotech and pharmaceutical industry to collaborate and do a larger study. Another thing we need to work on is
Depends on-
how best to define the inclusion criteria for any given medication, and accurate and standardized
My mother's getting ready,
therapies for long COVID is also important.
I'm gonna make it look hard.
Improve patient-reported outcomes specific to long COVID that takes into account the cyclical nature of the many of the disease manifestations are also needed to assess the true success of therapeutics.
Yeah, and the problem is
Dr. Iwasaki, this research that you're doing
privileged
is so
sections
vital,
of the
and
human
thank you
body,
for
the
everything
immune
you're doing
system
to
can't
help us
just
better
regulate enter your
understand long
brain,
COVID.
your
We appreciate you
sex
joining us
organs,
today.
you know.
If you found this discussion
Thank you, Todd.
valuable, you can support more programming like it by becoming an AMA member at
I can't be, I'm not a doctor. Andrew's not a doctor. Andrew has an undergraduate
That wraps
degree.
up today's episode. We'll be back with another AMA update.
Soon.
Be sure to subscribe for new episodes and find all our videos and podcasts at AMA-ASSM.org.
Thank you, Dr.
/podcasts.
I will find you.
Thanks for joining us.
It is
today.
still August 24th, August 24th, 2025. Anyway, that was Professor Iwasaki in April 7th, 2025. That's good. This is what causes long-range brain fog yellow from Paxlovid study. One second. I will, if you run out of, just, yeah. Hi Todd, it is still August 24th, 2025 for Andrew. I just saw one of your videos of both of you in the future, so I'm doing this backwards in time. So for them, they are on April 26th, 2024 now. So almost a year in your future, April 7th in your future, I just saw something. And,
First off, before we get going,
you're briefing the president in June 2020 and Dr. Anthony Fauci at the start of the Biden administration. So I figured because there's nothing they can do about long COVID, you know, during the pandemic. What else are you gonna do? Don't get infected is basically what they're
Let's get right into it.
There's not even a
Dr.
vaccine.
Iwasaki, more studies have come out on the cause of long COVID since we last talked. You've had a number of years of research.
This is
into this topic,
2024.
and we'd love to start with some of your current hypotheses on the origins of long COVID.
I know the
I'm happy
answer.
to talk about
And,
that. So,
but I will let you
broadly
guys know what
speaking,
you
there
know
are
until
four different hypotheses that
Yeah.
we've been pursuing. And for all of them, there are more and more mounting evidence.
you still have to do the
So
science.
the
I mean,
number
that's
one
one.
is the
Even if Andrew
persistent
knows the answer,
viral
you have to do the
replication
answer. Otherwise,
or
how would Andrew know the
remnants
answer,
of
right?
virus, antigen, and or RNA hidden away in tissues that are causing chronic inflammation. And there are numerous
That's one of-
reports of biopsies and autopsies now showing that viral RNA and protein can be found in a number of different tissues. And they're usually hidden in deeper tissues that are not accessible by nasopharyngeal swabs or even blood sampling. However, there are some recent research showing
You know, you
that
can
there
do this
is
when somebody dies, though.
circulating spike proteins that can be detected in people with long COVID, suggesting that there may be a blood test that we can implement in the future to
shit.
detect these things. Second hypothesis
would be
is
bad.
autoimmunity. So
I mean-
this is, autoimmunity is basically
Because
T
of the
cells
way
and
the
B
vaccine
cells
works,
that
you
are
don't
now
know how the
recognizing
cell, my
host
cell, that
proteins or
infects
host
anything and
antigens,
everything you want. If
as
that my
a
cell
something to
absolutely
attack. And
makes
that
contact
can
with
happen with
some sort of
respect
tissue
to
that human
following
body can't
multiple
get access
different
to,
types of stresses,
then
including
you can't
acute
kill that
infection
human
with
cell.
SARS-CoV-2.
it
And so when
continuously
that
makes.
autoimmune response
It would make
starts to
spike protein
happen, it's
forever
very hard to
possible.
stop them because these antigens are everywhere and they're not going anywhere. So that results in damage of
causes
the
T-cell
target
exhaustion, by the
organs
way.
and other issues that are associated with the immune
When
attack.
you have
The
antigen is
third
always there,
hypothesis
T-cell
is
exhaustion
the
is normal.
reactivation of dormant viruses, such as herpes virus family members.
That's
So
actually
humans
true.
live with many different viruses that are latent. And these are viruses that hide in different tissues, and normally people don't feel anything. However, during an acute infection or stress,
Therapies will be set.
these types of latent viruses can become reactivated. And once that happens, immune responses are also activated. We have seen evidence, for instance, of Epstein-Barr virus and varicella zoster
Scientific
virus
evidence, by the way,
reactivating
this-
in people with long COVID. That reactivated virus itself may be triggering some of the symptoms.
Yeah.
And the last hypothesis that people have been looking at is the sort of changing tissue inflammation status resulting from the acute phase of the COVID. So COVID-19 can impact multiple different tissues. For instance, we find that even a mild respiratory infection can trigger changes in the microglia, which are the macrophages of the brain, in a
Like you
chronic
literally just
manner
saw it.
that can't be restored back to homeostatic status. And that results in changes that are consistent with brain fog and neurocognitive.
Yeah, that's the problem. That might be what happened to
So
President
these
Biden, by
are
the
four
way.
hypotheses
'Cause he
for
got
which there are
COVID
many,
and
many
then all of a sudden
now
he springs
examples
stuff.
and evidence
You know, weird.
that's mounting in
That's
both
gonna happen to
human
President
and
Biden.
research.
That's
And that
nothing
once
we
we
can do
understand
about
these
it.
things, there are paths with which we can target these underlying causes.
Microglia is
So,
an immune cell, macrophages
Those are
in the
big
human
findings, and
brain.
we see if I
President
can
Trump.
just summarize the four we talked about again.
It doesn't affect, from what I can tell, brain cells. The actual processing, the electrical cells in your neuron doesn't affect the neuron.
Autoimmune reactions that are tough to stop.
Microglia and astrocytes come from stem cells inside your brain, and when they get infected, they have to be replenished.
on top of the COVID response.
It might take a long,
And then
long
this
time,
kind of
assuming you get
inflammation
clear.
has permanent effects. They can't just
Got a problem.
be stopped by themselves. So
President
that
got a
kind of
problem with his
understanding, I
virus.
see a huge step forward. Let me just talk to
Well,
you
you
about
want to tell the
first
you want to tell
reaction.
America, hey, zombie virus. Take it that there are no
That
zombies
could
in the
lead us to
film.
the ability to test.
There are no zombies, but
Or
freak
to
people
detect
out,
that
right?
with a test that might not otherwise have been detectable with current testing. I guess not
Technically not a zombie
particularly,
virus.
but is that where you think that could be heading?
Right. So there are groups
Professor
like
Jacques,
David
American
Ball's
Medical
group
Association.
at Harvard, who is using a very sensitive assay to detect viral proteins like the spike and nucleocapsid proteins. And they are finding these in people, blood of people who have long COVID. There is also some detection of people who have recovered from COVID. And so the sensitivity and sort of
So then we
ability
don't
of these
ever
kinds of
really
assays to
ever
really
recover from
dissect
COVID.
people who have long COVID versus who don't,
Jesus fuck.
it's still not clear. And also, whether these are actually causing the disease itself or it's just sort of a reflection
I
of the
mean, it's
disease.
not HIV. It doesn't
So
integrate
by
into your
targeting
DNA.
these
It's
viruses
not
with
retrovirus.
antivirals or antivirals,
For some reason,
whether that would have an impact or not. Those are
it's
the
gotta
things
be
that I think we
like
need to
your
really
testicles, your ovaries, or something with your brain.
Have an
Somewhere,
understanding of the
even for
whys
people who
here,
had
of course,
quote
could
unquote
be
recovered,
important in
somehow
terms
we
of,
cannot clear
veteran
it
research
completely.
into treatments, and I know
That is a
It's
problem.
going to take a while, but that work is underway. In fact, your team is running a
How do
clinical
we
trial
clear
that
it?
looks at Paxlovid and long COVID. Any updates on that?
Yes, so this is
Yeah,
a
bigger
trial
trial.
that Dr. Harlan Fromholtz is heading at Yale through the Yale Listen study. And I'm delighted to tell you that we have completed the enrollment for the Yale Paxlovid study. So the goal of this randomized clinical trials, which involves 100 people with long COVID, which is randomized into 50 in the Paxlovid group and 50 in the placebo arm. The goal is to really understand whether these 15-day course of Paxlovid is beneficial to people with long
Only
COVID.
15 days?
And if so, what are the biomarkers associated with such benefit? So
I know
my
why you
team
said
is really
May.
involved in the latter part of the question of whether
You only
we
did
can
it for 15
identify
days?
biomarkers that can predict benefit from Paxlovid. And if we can find such markers, we can then in the future treat people with those biomarkers with Paxlovid with a better success.
I know why you told me that in the future then.
Another
My
area
word.
of research
Because
is looking
if you
to
do
reduce
not
the risk
separate
of
the cause for the long
developing
COVID,
in the first
it's
place.
50 people
When studies have
holding
explored if
and
vaccination
you
plays
just
a
say
role
long
or
COVID and you
like
don't know.
Paxlovid, like we were just talking about,
Because
help
long COVID could be
not
caused
only
by
with treatment, but
autoimmune
also with
or
prevention.
viral reflux.
Have
So
those
you
studies
basically have to
shown
isolate
anything so
people whose
Yes,
cause
so
is
there
only
have been
viral,
many
a bigger
studies that are
study
now looking at
and
what
to find
during
the
the
answer
acute phase
in longer
of
than
COVID
15
can we
years.
do to
And I'll
reduce
see
the
if I can
risk of
get pictures
developing
of
long
you.
COVID. And
That's why
so
you didn't know.
vaccination appears
In 2025,
to
do you want to fund
repeatedly
that?
show, or multiple studies
This
show
is
that vaccinations can reduce
Hold
that
on,
risk.
one second. Yeah, you're still in the administration again. Stephanie Brooklyn, not Stephanie. I keep calling Stephanie Brooklyn. You are the Secretary of Agriculture.
Everything you do, every day, every minute.
You're in the second administration
now.
now.
For all Americans, and the small business.
I keep thinking your name's Stephanie.
I'm from a town of 1,200 people, Glen Rose, Texas, an hour south of Dallas, raised by a single mom who had a flower shop on the main street of Glen Rose.
Andrew's mother has a single mom
truly
too.
is the American dream at its very, very best, and the work that Secretary Mnuchin, that Administrator Carranza are doing for this country is extraordinary.
We gotta
And
vote.
it's executing your vision.
You only have, yeah.
Today,
Sorry, I gotta find another video. President Trump's video's going. I'll
And
be right
it
back.
may even be
not just get this country back where we were just a couple of months ago.
You have
before
about 20
the
seconds,
pandemic
so-
from China hit,
so.
but to even greater heights than ever before. It's just an honor to be here, and I want to welcome and thank everyone for coming to the White House. And thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
gonna need another video because this video is now ending in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3. I need to find another video. This video is ending for me. Mr. President, it is still August 24th, 2025, Sunday. This is the only video that I could find.
Great to be here.
Yeah, anyway.
Beautiful runway, a little warmer than I'm used to.
You're gonna give a speech?
It's just giving a beautiful picture of the
Oh,
It's before.
well, in the year 2025, the American southern border is completely shut down.
One area you walk over.
In June, the number of apprehensions is 25,000 instead of, not like it was zero. In 2025, it's one of the reasons you won the election.
It's a different section.
In 2024, by the way. Not right now. I mean,
More than that now.
Right, I found a new. It's border.
Booster doses are also going to be important in preventing.
It's
the
this
risk for
is
long
what is
COVID.
it? Accurate. We're
Evidence
talking in year
for
2024,
treatment of
April
Paxlovid
2024.
during the acute phase is a little bit mixed. So that earlier study by Dr. Ziad Al-Aris showed that Paxlovid treatment for acute COVID is effective in preventing
Paxlovid is a combination of two
unvaccinated
molecules
individuals.
that inhibits
A
the
recent study by UCSF
really complex molecules.
found that in vaccinated, non-hospitalized individuals during the first COVID, the use of Paxlovid did not show any effectiveness in reducing the rate.
One second.
The UCSF group found that in vaccinated, non-hospitalized individuals during the first COVID, the use of Paxlovid did not show any effectiveness in reducing the rate of long COVID. So I think it
People who are
depends on
vaccinated and never hospitalized, Paxlovid didn't work to prevent long COVID.
so that
They're
is a
vaccinated
little bit
already,
mixed
and
to findings so far.
that's not a good sign.
Thank you for
Because
that
that means
update. And of course, a lot
I
of
do not
people
want to freak
out there,
people out, President Trump. Right?
once
Don't
contract COVID, obviously
because
experiencing
people are already
issues
hesitant
around
against vaccines already, and
long-term
people don't want
impact.
to let them know.
According to the latest data from the CDC, it's about 3 in 10 adults
President of the
who had
National Border Patrol
COVID
Council,
reported getting long
Brandon
COVID. Do we know if the
It's
likelihood
8%.
of
I know the
getting
actual
long
number. The
COVID
actual
is
number is
higher
actually
or
8%.
lower with the
It's
latest
8%.
variant?
They might be repeating 3 to 10 in the
That's a
future.
great
It's 8%.
question.
You told me.
So there are several studies now looking at this issue.
8% of people who get
A nice
COVID
case
will get long
control
COVID.
observational study
That's
from the
the,
UK has shown that the risk of getting long COVID after Omicron period is about half of that compared to the Delta
Several other very
period.
dedicated.
Another study in the U.S. estimates about 1 in 10 adults getting long COVID after the
Well, the
Omicron phase.
Biden can because
So the risk of developing long COVID
I will,
cord
I
infection
will find out. I
appears
don't
to
know
be
this lady. I mean,
lower
I
with the
tell
current Omicron
somebody,
variant.
We're also
don't know who
However,
she is,
a lot more people
somebody
got
from more
infected
important
with
friends on TV. I will tell
Omicron
them.
and
The
are
Delta, I
continue
mean, well,
to be infected.
I don't know if you know
on a
about what I've
daily
been doing
basis,
with the
leading to
World Health
millions of
Organization,
people
Maria
developing
Kakova,
long COVID.
Mike Ryan, Dr.
So
Mike Ryan.
we still
I've been
cannot
talking to them
really
about everything.
put
They
down our
know about
guards
Delta
with
and
respect to
already,
prevention.
so. But
Dr.
Americans, you
Iwasaki,
know,
a lot of the
they
research
know
you
about
talk
Delta and know about
is about
Omicron.
long
Omicron
COVID
is
in adults.
wrecking ball.
But what do physicians and patients need to know about the risk of kids getting long COVID?
That is an interesting question.
Yeah, so this is an area that's not well discussed, I think, in public, but an estimated 6 million
I don't even
children
know
are
this guy. I don't know this
affected
guy
by long
either.
COVID in the
There's a
U.S.
black woman and
Children also suffer from similar types of symptoms that are reported for adults with long COVID, but they may not be able to articulate it in the same way that adults
yeah,
might.
they may not know they're uncomfortable
And
and
some of
they're
the
not
risk
happy.
factors for pediatric long COVID has been studied, which includes severity of disease. So the more severe the acute phase of COVID, the more likely.
Because you know, I cannot find any data on how many children die from this disease in the
increased age
future.
group, so
People
teenage
keep
years
saying that
are
children do not die from
more
this disease, but
at higher risk
I
than
wonder
younger
if they get
children. Female
COVID.
sex is also a risk factor in children and underlying conditions like asthma.
yeah.
Dr.
That's the thing,
Iwasaki, thank you
women
so
are
much for joining us again. We have so much viewer response from
Oh,
our
yeah.
prior segments.
It is
A lot of
August
demand
24th, 2025, Sunday,
Obviously,
when I
so
do
much more.
2:11 p.m.
And
Pacific
congratulations on your
Time. I
recognition.
am going
by
backwards in
Team
time, so you
How
already
great
know,
to see
right?
Such important work.
You already know, the same day.
Thank you so
I
much.
know.
It is such an honor for me and my team.
I mean, because
For our viewers and listeners out there, if you found this discussion valuable, you
Yeah.
can support more
I'm briefing,
programming right here by becoming
trying to
a
brief.
VA member.
Probably I should have been briefing. They chose to. I mean, all these people are
We'll
briefed.
be back soon with another AMA
President
update.
Trump is getting briefed in the
Subscribe to
middle of the
new
pandemic,
episodes or
so.
find all our videos and podcasts.
President Trump can hear me crystal clear. So,
Podcasts. Thanks for joining us today.
this is
Please take care.
this
In
is
the past
yeah.
2 months, we've seen the lowest number of illegal
June, still June,
in many years.
June 23rd.
Illegal immigration is down 84% from this time last year. Illegal crossings from Central America are down 97%. Now the news.
Hello and welcome
Hi,
to the
Todd,
Update
and
video and
it is
In
August
this
24th,
episode, we're
Sunday,
talking about
2025.
new COVID
Same day.
How it can help diagnosing and treating the condition.
Same day.
Here to discuss is Dr.
August
Iwasaki,
24, 2025, Sunday. You are talking to President Trump in June 2020 and doctors at the start of the Biden administration. As much as you know.
Dr. Iwasaki, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Nice talking to
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I can only watch
Well,
this
your
once,
video
by the
from
way.
earlier this year
President
was
and
most
doctor, so.
people watch videos, and so there's clearly
Hopefully
a
this
lot of
information
interest
gets,
in report about long COVID. Since we talked the last time, there have been a number of studies that are published on the topic.
This is
including one
Professor
by your team
Iwasaki
at
on what they.
Dr. Iwasaki, before we dive into those findings specifically,
This is November 30, 2023 now.
in terms of our
So they are
overall understanding
about
of long COVID.
27,000.
Obviously,
4
you know,
to 5
whether
months.
we did
5
it
months.
first
5 months in the
emerge,
past
but
of the
we
last
still
3
have a
years.
long way
Because
to
the last
go.
one I was in April 2024. So.
Also,
We as a field have made a lot of progress over the
Paxlovid
last
study, by the way.
3+ years of studying this disease, and even compared to when we spoke last time in May, there's been a lot of progress made.
Do the
In terms of
Paxlovid study, even though
characterizing the
I
various
don't know.
biological differences
Yeah.
seen in long COVID patients, there's a lot that we have learned, and the knowledge is converging to paint a more clear picture.
Let me see
Since
what you
long
know,
COVID
what
is
I
not
know from
one
you.
disease, but is a collection of likely multiple endotypes of diseases,
That is still what you
in
know.
terms of looking at specific biomarkers that can distinguish these endotypes, we're
There
still not
are,
there yet. However, the
You need very
drivers of
sensitive
illness
assays to
themselves are
measure
becoming
spike
better
protein.
identified and defined.
In long
This
COVID
includes
patients, there are
persistent
circulating
virus
spike
infection,
protein.
autoimmunity,
And even in people who have
herpes
recovered
virus
from
reactivation, and
circulating spike
hypercoagulation
protein inside the
and
human body,
I'm
you
curious
need a very sensitive
how
assay
studying
to
long
study
COVID
the
is
circulating
different
spike protein.
or more challenging than
And
studying
you might
other
have to
post-acute
figure out how to
So I
work
just
infection
want to thank
syndromes.
everyone.
because it's
And what do you
it's
find
really
barriers
low.
that still
Okay.
exist?
He's controlled totally by the radical left, as you all
Yeah,
know.
so
Sorry.
I would
Sorry.
say that
The
we are
president-
in a
president's-
better
let's do his
position to
speech.
study long COVID than other post-acute
Probably it would be
infection
better for the
syndromes,
president just be listening.
including ME/CFS. We know what triggers long COVID and when it was triggered, whereas other post-acute infection syndromes, sometimes people don't know what triggered it. And so it's much easier
There's
to know
actually
the causative agent.
Epstein-Barr
We
virus
also have millions
reactivation
of
too.
people who
Some of
develop
them.
long COVID around the same time, which
And,
makes
if
it
you don't
more
know that yet,
feasible
then,
to
I mean,
recruit participants
for some
and to
of
be able
them-
to study the
For some
underlying
people,
disease mechanisms.
COVID reactivates the
However,
Epstein-Barr
studying long
herpes
COVID
virus.
is still challenging in many ways.
That's one of the
For
causes.
example, when
It's multiple
people
causes, that's why it's
use
so hard.
different clinical definitions to define long COVID, it is difficult to compare studies head to head. Also,
one of
long
it
COVID,
is
immune
COVID
phenotype
infecting
shifts over
different
time.
organs
So we really
and
need to be
replicating in
mindful of
different
the
amounts in
time
different
that
organs
elapsed
and
between the
creating different
infection
symptoms
and
for
the
people.
disease and the analyses
Like if
to be able to map
COVID
out the
infects a
disease
specific
time
organ
course better.
in a specific person
And finally, we
and
do
replicates
need
in
more
a
funding
specific
to be
organ
able to
more
carry
and damage
on
that
our
organ,
studies with
that
long
organ
COVID
will be
research.
damaged and it causes
Now, in
different
terms of your own
symptoms.
research specifically, the
So it
last time you
creates
talked
this
about a study
vast
that your
range
team
of
was doing
symptoms.
that looked at distinguishing features of long
Because
COVID
imagine
that
if you have-
identified
if you-
through
I mean,
immune profiling, and that study's
And what's
since been published. Can you remind us of the key
Ovaries.
findings in that
Imagine if
study?
your ovaries
If
are
anything
malfunctioning.
changed from the time
Parts
that
of
we
your
talked
gland.
about it in May until it was published in late September?
Yes, the
Microglia
study
too.
we spoke about in May
Macrophages in your
was
brain.
recently published
White
in
blood cells in your
September.
brain.
And we have made a lot of refinements to the original
That's one of the
findings
problems.
that we posted on
As
a
far as I
preprint server in
remember,
our
President
archive.
Trump, you never
For
told
example,
people
we
about the
specifically matched the
macroglia
participants'
that I
age,
know of. You
sex,
might
based
have,
from
right? If you
acute
told people
COVID
that, they
symptom
would be absolutely
onset
scared.
and vaccination status
Do
to
you
be able
want
to
to tell?
conduct machine
It's your
learning
decision, Mr.
strategy to
President.
identify
Because I don't watch
selective
television in my
factors
past, so.
that distinguish people with long COVID. And so it was made stronger
The
and more
microglia part,
justified.
the part that
But the key
that
findings
this virus
still
actually infects
stands,
certain cells
which
in your
is that
brain.
we found
Do you
lower
wanna tell
levels
people
of
that?
cortisol, morning cortisol in
I
people
would.
with long
I mean,
COVID compared to those who recovered or
astrocytes is the other
compared to
one.
those who never had
Because
COVID.
astrocytes,
We also see in a subset of patients the
I
reactivation
know
of
that
latent
astrocytes do
herpes
something else
viruses,
besides
including Epstein-Barr
what are their
virus
normal immune function?
and varicella zoster
where
virus.
neurons forms connection with,
We also see increases in
neurons.
activation of B cells
Astrocytes
and
actually
T cells,
help neurons get
particularly
into
a
their final
subset of T
position
cells that
in their
secrete
final
certain
orientation
types of
with
cytokines are elevated
neurons.
in
So
people with long
astrocytes
COVID.
are actually
And
important
then
for
finally, we
forming
see
new connections in your
enhanced
brain.
antibody responses to the
So
spike
if your astrocytes are
protein
damaged,
in
you
the
would
people
actually
with
get
long COVID,
your brain
suggesting
would get damaged.
persistent
Basically, your
viral
ability to
antigen
learn new
that's
things,
driving this elevated
because you
levels of
learning new things
antibodies.
is forming new connections.
Now, less than a
The
month
ability to
after
learn
your
something
study was
new,
published, the New
your
York
memory,
Times covered
form a new memory,
another significant study
will be
involving the
compromised
connection
if your
between
astrocytes are
serotonin
damaged.
levels
And,
in people with long COVID.
That's
You were
not a
also
fun virus.
quoted in that particular article. Can you tell us a
This
little
is
bit about
not a fun virus.
what the study found and how, when it is looked at in context with
We
your
know
own
about
research, it contributes to our understanding of long COVID?
Sure. So this is a fascinating study from the lab of Doctors Mayan Levy and Christoph Theiss at University of Pennsylvania. Their team used both human data and animal models to study the mechanism and impact of reduced levels of circulating serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that they found to be reduced in people with long COVID.
Wow.
The researcher focused on a subset of people with long COVID that had elevated levels of viral RNA in their stools, suggesting that these people had persistent virus infection. And in the setting of this persistent virus replication, antiviral cytokines such as the type 1 interferons, they seem to reduce the circulating levels of serotonin through diminished tryptophan uptake. So this is the precursor of serotonin, and also increasing in hypercoagulability by using their mouse models.
No, they got all four.
And then they also found that peripheral serotonin deficiency impairs cognitive function in the animals due to reduced
I did not know
vagal
about this.
signaling. So these findings suggest that restoring the levels of circulating
what's happening.
serotonin which is separate from serotonin levels falling within the brain. This might improve long COVID symptoms. Further, if persistent virus is really driving this reduced levels of serotonin, then getting at that root cause by using agents like Paxlovid, the antiviral agents, as well as monoclonal antibodies to get rid of the root cause persistent virus, that may also be helpful. And so it does converge in people with long COVID, suggesting persistent viral antigen that's driving this elevated levels of antibodies.
I'm sorry
Less
to
than a
rewatch
week
this
after
part,
your
but this
study
part
was
is
published, the New York Times covered another significant study involving a connection between serotonin levels and people with long COVID.
I'm sorry
You were
to
also
rewatch
quoted
this
in that particular article. Can you tell us a little bit about what the study found and how, when it is looked at in context with your own research, it contributes to our understanding of long COVID?
Sure. So this is a fascinating study from the lab of doctors Mayan Levy and Christoph Theiss at University of Pennsylvania. Their team used both human data and animal models to study the mechanism and impact of reduced levels of circulating serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that they found to be reduced in people with long COVID.
Okay.
The researcher focused on a subset of people with long COVID that had elevated levels of viral RNA in their stools, suggesting that these people
So
had
it's reduced
persistent
levels of
virus
serotonin, free
infection.
serotonin in your
And in
blood
the
when
setting
you have
of
long
this
COVID.
persistent virus
That is a
replication,
neurotransmitter.
antiviral cytokines such as the type 1 interferons, they
Sorry to
seem
rewatch
to
this, by the way.
reduce the circulating
It's so
levels of
important that I have to rewatch this so I send
serotonin
information back.
through diminished
Reduced levels
tryptophan
of free
uptake. So this is
serotonin
the
in your blood
precursor of serotonin,
from people
and
with
also
long COVID.
increasing in hypercoagulability by using their mouse models.
I don't know what that means. So I'm
And then
sorry.
they also found that peripheral serotonin deficiency impairs cognitive function in the animals due to reduced vagal signaling. So these findings
Okay.
suggest that restoring the levels of circulating serotonin, which is
Wow.
separate from serotonin levels found within the brain.
I mean, you know what SSRIs
This
are,
might
selective
improve
serotonin
long COVID
reuptake inhibitors.
symptoms.
The people who are depressed, depression,
Further,
I mean,
if persistent virus
SSRIs,
is really driving
selective
this
serotonin
reduced
reuptake
levels of
inhibitors. I mean, that's what
serotonin,
people give to people
then
with
getting at
depression.
that root cause
Jesus
by
fucking Christ.
using agents like Paxlovid, the antiviral agents,
I mean,
as well as
depression, sadness
monoclonal
is one of
antibodies
the
to get
cause,
rid of the
one of the
root
symptoms
cause
of
persistent
long COVID.
virus,
I mean,
that may also be helpful. And so
Besides
it
the
does
brain fog
converge
and all that
in
stuff,
terms
I mean,
of looking at
people are gonna be
persistent
sad
virus
as
and
fuck,
how we might be
you
able
know?
to target that. And there are clinical
Damn it.
trials ongoing
Thank you,
for both of
ladies
these
and gentlemen.
mechanisms, and we're involved in the Paxlovid
Lady
trial
and gentlemen.
ourselves.
I know, Dr. Iwasaki, that hope of your research is that we can make diagnosing easier.
I know,
and,
right?
Obviously point the way toward
Even
treatment.
in the future,
Let's talk just quickly about diagnosing first. Given what we now know, are there certain tests or questions that primary care physicians should be asking to determine if someone's symptoms are possibly related
this
to long
Todd over
COVID?
there,
If so,
chief ingredient.
what are the steps
I'm assuming you're a
they
doctor,
should
by the
take to
way.
determine if they are?
So the ultimate goal is for us to develop laboratory tests that the doctors can order to determine whether someone has long COVID or not. But because of the complexity and the many drivers of disease, we haven't got there yet. However, there are fantastic physicians like Dr. Lisa Saunders at Yale who is taking a lead in diagnosing patients with long
Really,
COVID.
really sensitive assays and
She's
like
taking a holistic approach and are doing
circulating
deep
spike
diving
protein.
into
People
patients'
with long
medical
COVID have
history
circulating
and
spike
physical
protein in
examination
really low
to
levels in
eliminate
their
other
blood, some of
possible
them.
causes of someone's
And you
symptoms
can actually.
and rule in long
The
COVID
problem
as a
is, apparently,
diagnosis
even people who
after
have
this very
recovered from
thorough,
COVID, you actually
interview
get
and examination.
circulating
And once
spike
someone
protein
is
in their blood
diagnosed
too
as
that they don't
having,
even know.
as
They
having
feel
long
fine.
COVID, there are many
Like
symptom
the people who
management
got COVID, they
strategies
recovered,
that
they feel
can be
fine.
employed to
They still have
minimize
circulating spike
disease
protein in their blood.
exacerbation and
And it's like,
suggest possible
okay.
therapies to alleviate various symptoms.
I hope it's not.
We
I
need
mean,
more of these sort of multi-specialty
it
clinics
should.
dedicated to
Because
diagnosing
if the moment you get
and treating
vaccinated with that
patients.
cell, your T cells should
This allows
recognize that as a
physicians
foreign
who
cell
are
and
adept
kill
at
that,
diagnosing long
that,
COVID
that
and referring
human
patients
cell
to
that's
specialists
been quote unquote
in a
infected by the
streamlined
vaccine.
manner, so
How?
that the burden
Right? I do
is
not
lifted
understand how
from the
you can have
patients
circulating
to go around looking for the most
Viral
appropriate care for
mRNA
the
is
symptoms,
still
but rather
somewhere in
having
some
a
organ.
centralized location
The only way I can
where
think
these
of it is
patients
the
can go
virus.
to
The virus
and
is
get the
still
right referrals.
somewhere in your body.
You mentioned
And the actual virus, not the
this is a
vaccine,
collection,
somewhere not clear
of
yet.
different things. You also mentioned using
it's,
Paxlovid to kind of
deep in your tissue, by the way.
cause of the problem. You kind of
Autopsies,
see
autopsies, you find
new
people who die, they
treatments,
autopsy and they
or
find
improvements
viral
of existing
RNA deep in
ones that can,
tissue, still
be
there.
used to
And
treat
if
one.
a human being, if you clear the virus, viral
Yeah,
RNA
so
should not
the
exist.
goal is for
That virus
us
should
as
be
a
completely
community
clear.
to translate
We
the
are
latest
finding in
research
autopsies still
findings
viral
into
RNA
treatments.
deep in the tissue everywhere.
And that kind of process,
Okay, it's not
unfortunately,
AIDS.
does
It's not
take a long
HIV.
time.
It's not AIDS.
But
It's not a retrovirus.
certainly these kinds of
Literally, it's
efforts
not a
are
retrovirus.
underway.
I know that. I know it's not AIDS. It
For
doesn't
example,
integrate in
our
the DNA,
Paxlovid
but it is
trial,
hiding somewhere in your body.
it's basically testing whether 15-day course of Paxlovid can improve the patient's symptoms,
Yeah.
but coupled with biological
the result of that.
marker analysis. So even if,
I'll let you do
say,
the-
10% of the
not
patients or
biased.
20% of the patients benefit from Paxlovid, we will be able to tell who will benefit from a particular treatment because we're now measuring
You should have a bigger
biomarkers
study.
before and after the treatment.
Because a study from what I
and
said
to,
was
to be
only
able to
100 people,
associate
50
certain
placebo,
markers
50.
with improvement
That is not
with
big
certain,
enough to get
medications.
President Trump,
And
in the year
similarly, this
2025, would you
kind of
like to
marker
help
can
Dr.
be
Akio
applicable for
Iwasaki do a bigger study?
monoclonal antibody therapy that are targeting
Because
the
from the math that we're
bioantigens
saying,
and
we
spike
have
proteins.
between 8 and 10 million Americans
The
with
other
this
types of
problem.
insights that
They
we
are
gain
suffering.
through research
So,
is the reactivation
With
of
8 and 10
EBV,
million
as I
people
mentioned
with
already.
funding,
And
we should be
there
able
are
to do a bigger
clinical
study
trials
than
of
100 people.
antiviral
President Trump.
strategy against EBV that's also being contemplated.
I will talk to
And
you in the
finally,
future because you
the
can't.
inflammation that I
you can't help
mentioned,
her
that
before,
there are also
if she has
some
been,
very potent
maintain a
immunomodulatory
stable
agents
timeline, so.
that are already
But in the
FDA
future,
approved for use against
you can
other
help
types of
her.
inflammatory diseases.
Because if
that
she
can
hasn't,
also
the
try
study
in
so
this
small
way.
in
So
2020.
we're all working hard to find signals that could help people with long COVID based on scientific insights.
Well, we now know that some people have been suffering from long
One second,
COVID
one
for a
second.
month.
Is somebody? Can I skip over? To the president. Yeah, the border patrol is basically what it was in the other election. Let's skip over the president. Sorry, Mr. President, let's skip over the border is how you won the election in 2024 because Biden does such a bad job with the border. Sorry about this. Sorry, I'm telling the president he's gonna lose this
Physicians and
election.
patients take away
Biden's
one
gonna win.
thing from what we've learned so far. What would that be?
Sorry. How much time do you have?
There is a clear biological basis for this
One
syndrome,
minute and 50
that
seconds.
we're defining the root causes that drive these
Oh, man,
different
root causes.
endotypes of disease.
You
And
know,
I'm
it's a root
personally
cause
very
of something.
excited about and hopeful that science is moving
y'all
forward
think about
at an extraordinary
when effect
pace.
precedes cause
Disease,
in the world with
understanding
Andrew,
disease,
where the
root
cause
causes
for
and
something
treatment
comes from.
takes many years. But I think there's a lot
best
of
thing I
talent
can
and
guess,
dedicated people
talented
with
people.
desire to
God.
find
I mean, it's
diagnostic
not
tools
the
and
past, it's not
therapies
the
that
future
can
causing it.
really be used to
This
improve
woman
the
named
lives of
Alexandra
people with
Michelle.
COVID.
Michelle, I asked her if
And
I
this
tell
kind of
her a
research will
poem
also
that she wrote
inform
before she
treatment
wrote it, who wrote
strategies
the
for
poem.
other post-acute
And she
infectious
said it was a
syndromes,
collaboration.
including ME/CFS
I
and
respectfully
chronic lyme.
disagree. It's not a
So
collaboration.
I think we need to ensure continuous
origin of something
funding in this
that
field
comes
so
from
that
nowhere.
we can grow the next
Ontological paradox,
generation of
bootstrap
scientists
paradox.
to carry the
Or
torch.
no
But
origin.
I'm
No
personally
origin
very
for
excited about
something.
the future.
Dr.
I
Iwasaki,
know.
thank you
Andrew's
so
in the
much
future.
for
It is
being here.
August 24th,
For
Sunday,
all the critical
2025 for
work
Andrew
that you're
still.
doing to help us
And
better
thank you for
understand
letting me
this
know.
disease. And we look
I think
forward
I'm gonna
to,
try to
hearing
find
your
this video.
progress as you make more. That's it for
August
today's
24th, 2025. I'm going
We'll be
back.
back soon.
I'm
with
watching
another
it
AMA
backwards
update.
because it's
Find
more
all
important
our
if I know
videos
the
and
future
podcasts
first. And
at
then,
AMA-ASSM.org/podcast.
so I'm watching all your videos backwards so I know things to
Thanks
do
for
in the
joining us
future.
today. Please take care.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. This is one more. I have one more. No, two more. Two more. I have two more. Oh, no, one more. One more. Here we go.
Hello, this is the
Oh my
American
God.
Medical Association's COVID-19 update.
Hi,
we're talking with Dr.
my name is Andrew.
Akiko
Just so you
Iwasaki,
know,
the Sterling
the
Professor
year
of
for me is
Immunobiology
2025.
at Yale
I'm 3
University
years in your
and
future.
a principal
It is
investigator
August
at
24th,
Howard Hughes
2025,
Medical
Sunday.
Institute.
That's
He's
a
gonna
long
share
time in
with us the
advance.
latest research on
Same day for
long
me. April
COVID.
11th,
I'm Todd
2022 for them.
Chief Experience Officer in Chicago.
Todd.
Dr. Iwasaki, thanks so
Nice
much
to meet
for
you, Todd.
joining
If you
us.
haven't,
We're here and
I don't know
we
when
live
I'm.
on
It
COVID.
gets
It's
complicated when first time you
scary
meet
and
Andy.
concerning.
This
and
is
the more
President Trump in
complicated,
June 2020.
diagnosing treatment that seems to
Biden
accompany
administration
these days.
started the administration.
Why don't we just start by talking about, at this point where we are with the pandemic,
Oh.
is there an agreed upon
It is the pandemic's
clinical
about to end for you
definition
too.
COVID? Tell us a
June
little bit about
2022 is
the
the end of the pandemic.
symptoms
Basically.
and
Omicron variant is going to rip
how
through
you
it's
kind
already
of
ripped through the
classify
world.
it now.
There is
Right,
no
so
other
there
variant
is
that
no
can actually do what
universal
Omicron
clinical case
does. And
definition
Omicron
for
gives the
long
world
COVID.
herd
But
immunity.
the CDC definition
And with the herd
says
immunity
that
from Omicron,
new and returning
COVID is
or
now
ongoing health
in
problems
basically over.
in
The
people
pandemic is
who
over for you guys
have
in
at least
April 11th,
4 or more weeks after the
Essentially,
first
2 more months.
infection
2 more months
with
and your pandemic's over.
SARS-CoV-2.
Small
The
problem,
WHO
long COVID is still
definition
around.
is
It's long COVID.
similar,
Crazy.
but they usually say within 3 months of initial diagnosis and symptoms lasting for over 2 months. And so,
Yeah.
slight difference, but overall, at least 4 weeks.
After
if
you're
not,
getting through
2
COVID 3
months or
months, you still
12
get 2
weeks
more
is
months.
used by another agency. The types of symptoms that are reported.
The pandemic is over in 2022, so that's what you do. I want to be president, Mr. President.
With long COVID.
That is President
long
Biden's
COVID,
problem.
And that includes things like fatigue, shortness of breath, memory impediments,
Yeah, it
and
sucks, I mean.
GI symptoms, many different organ systems being involved.
What do you think kind of of those symptoms are
I'll
kind of
let
the most
them know
predominant ones? I heard you say,
about
I guess
Omicron.
the colloquial term of brain fog is something we've heard about before.
That is
but
the problem.
In terms of kind of severity
Astrocytes and
incidence,
microglia is.
are those the top ones on the list?
I mean, I always told
Yeah,
you
so
in the
if you
future,
look at
but
all
I'll
the
tell you
different
again.
surveys, fatigue is the number one symptom
Microglia
that's
is
being
macrophages
reported,
inside your brain.
and followed by cough, headache, muscle pain.
And
loss of
astrocytes is
taste and
actually
smell is
interesting.
also
I follow somebody on
top
Twitter.
symptoms,
She's
as well
a
as sore
scientist that
throat,
studies
shortness
astrocytes.
of breath. But as I mentioned, there
You
are
know,
over 200
astrocytes do
symptoms.
something other than,
That is just,
than immune
how
function.
does somebody,
Supposedly,
when a patient
astrocytes
presents
help.
themselves with
Astrocytes
some
help
set of
neurons
symptoms,
get into their final position when they're
coming
trying to
after
form
about
connections with the
COVID,
neuron.
how,
When a human
how's a
neuron is
physician
searching
to
for
work with that
connections,
when there are
it's kind of
200
amazing, it's
in
beautiful.
contention?
It's trying to find
Right,
connections.
so
And neurons
that's
find
the other
connections.
issues that we really
Astrocytes
need
actually
a
help
guidance for the
that
physicians to
cell
be
get into
able
its
to
final
diagnose
resting position.
properly.
Permanent
COVID,
position
because
with a
not every
permanent
patient has obviously all
neuron
these
connections.
symptoms. They may have one or two.
When you have a
and
virus
some
that can
people
infect
have more
something
than a
that
dozen symptoms.
that
So
helps your brain
we really
form
need to educate the
connections.
physicians
I
to be
mean,
able to
the
diagnose long
consequences are
COVID
obvious.
properly.
Why brain fog exists?
Back when we were kind of
You know,
earlier in the pandemic, I spoke with someone that talked about how they
microglia
were
and
trying to
astrocytes
quantify how
are
many
formed from
people
stem
or
cells
what percentage
inside
of
your
people were
brain.
developing long
not from
COVID
your bone
symptoms.
marrow.
I think at
It's
that
using-
time it was much higher
If
than we
your
anticipated. Somewhere in the
reservoir of
20 to
stem
30%
cells in
range.
your brain gets infected,
What are we seeing now?
and you lose that
we're
stem cell
past
reservoir
2
of
years of the
astrocytes,
pandemic?
and you are gonna die.
Yeah, so there are many reports
Because
that
without immune
define
cells
the
inside your
prevalence
brain,
of
your
long
brain will
COVID
get
in
infected by
survivors
other
of
things,
COVID.
you know.
And we can think of this in
If
2 bins.
COVID infects the
One is
reservoir, the stem
patients
cell
who
reservoir
had severe COVID who were hospitalized and
For
are
your immune cells
discharged
in your
alive
brain,
from
you
the
are a dead
hospital.
person
And in
in
that
nature.
population,
I mean,
the
you're
percentage
just a
is
walking dead
up
person,
to
you don't even
50%.
know.
Whereas people who had mild or
Maybe
even
people just die
asymptomatic
from
infections, they can
something else
develop
infecting
long
their brain
COVID
that
over
your brain
time
cannot
within about
defeat
3 months of
because
that
all your immune cells in your
infection.
brain are gone.
And that tends to be between
And you think, oh, you
5
die
to
from COVID,
30%.
sort of.
And they vary because we
You
don't
die
have a
from-
universal definition of long COVID.
It's almost like dying from AIDS.
That's,
you know?
those are high numbers.
When all the immune cells
So
in your
it's
brain
a-
are gone, you can no
a
longer
really
fight
interesting
infection.
thing. We're going to talk about that
You're
in
gone.
regard to
You're dead.
what challenges for the future. But one thing I'm
Hopefully
curious
that's
about,
not you
you
would
know,
never
read a
tell
lot about
me.
a lot of folks are trying to figure out
Because you would just think, oh, you died from
why
COVID.
this is
but
happening.
You don't even know.
What kind of is the current thinking?
Oh,
what is your
I know the
research
answer.
support?
There's
in
a
terms
persistent
of
viral
one
infection
theory
in
over
organs
another,
because
if
it's
that
ACE2.
is even where we
Angiotensin
are?
converting enzyme 2.
Yeah,
So it affects parts of
currently
your
we are
body
at
that
the hypothesis stage.
ovaries,
We don't have a concrete
testicles,
answer as to what's causing long
intestines.
COVID. But there are few
I don't
things
even
that I
remember.
can
It affects so many
name,
organs.
which is one of the top hypotheses.
COVID, I have a COVID paper. I mean, I think I have a bookmark. Hold on. Shit. Scientific paper. There you go. I have a bookmark. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys are, yeah, sorry. I have a bookmark. I mean, I got a bookmark.
Is the
Ovaries,
persistent
vagina,
virus or
prostate, testes,
viral
breast,
remnants
bladder,
that are,
adrenal gland,
persisting
kidneys,
in
pancreas. I was
tissues,
right. There was
such as viral
liver,
RNA
heart,
or protein
colon,
or
small
both.
intestine,
And that
stomach,
could be triggering,
pituitary gland.
chronic
I mean,
inflammation
I don't know.
in
You all
this
know what the pituitary gland.
The
They know
other
what the pituitary
hypothesis
gland.
is
I'm just
autoimmunity.
joking. You know what the pituitary
So
gland. Pituitary gland is kind of
acute respiratory
important.
infection
Thyroid
can
gland, salivary
induce
gland,
autoimmune
brain,
conditions
nasal cavity,
in some
lungs,
patients.
lung.
And
I mean, I don't know what
once
you know
that's
what happens
developed,
when the
it's very
pituitary gland is
difficult
inflated
to
by
reverse that process, and that could be
sex
happening in
hormones.
a subset of long COVID patients. There's
Okay,
also
goodbye
hypotheses
puberty or
about
something.
gut microbiome that's
Maybe that's why
dysregulated
there's so many.
dysbiosis, as well as
In the future, we have a lot of
virus
trans
reactivation
people.
like EBV. So there are many of these
Oh my
hypotheses,
God, I have a
and
gay
I
virus.
believe
We're gonna
COVID
release-
is likely composed of multiple
I'm just having
diseases
to-
that are under one umbrella but
Jesus
needs
Christ.
to be
I mean,
dissociated and
Affecting your pituitary
disentangled.
gland will
So those are a lot of hypotheses to explore.
That's part of your.
I guess it sounds as you're talking about it.
Y'all can find out.
We've been learning in real time
Yeah.
with the pandemic itself, and I
You
guess
don't know, you
we're in
don't
the same
want
situation
to-
with
you already
long
know.
COVID at this point.
TMPR.
So the question as to why is it so challenging
It's
to
something you
figure
already
out
know. Because this paper
what
is.
kind of research and how
This
to
paper is
gather
2021,
data.
not
I'm
only
hearing
supposed
from
to be
you like
something-
we're early on this still.
Neuropilin 1 as
Is
normal
that-
signs, and
is
you
that
already
how you
know.
classify that?
2021. But
Yes,
they don't know.
I think so. It's not for lack of trying. we
The
are
people
working
I'm talking
very hard
to,
try
the president and
understand
the
this disease.
Biden people, they don't
And
know.
because we don't
But we know,
understand the
right?
cause yet,
Because
it
the
is
president was
triggered by the
in
infection,
April 11,
but
2022.
downstream,
Andrews
what's
in
causing it is
August
still unclear.
24,
So we are,
2025.
basically
So we both know. I mean,
monitoring
all three of us
every
know.
possible parameters
They don't know how
in the
bad.
patients, so we can understand if there may be a persistent virus or RNA or a latent virus reactivation.
And I can only watch this
or,
once, by the way, so this is the
autoimmunity.
only time I can
And
see
these
Otherwise,
assays require
otherwise
distinct
Todd and Akiko would hear me from multiple times.
assays to be able to show
I would not be able to communicate
autoantibody
with them
versus
when we know.
viral remnants and so on.
You need a very, very
It takes time,
sensitive
but we are
assay
making progress.
to measure
Dr.
still
Iwasaki,
circulating spike
one thing I'm
protein in
interested
the
in is
blood of long
scientists
COVID.
have seen
And it's,
physical changes.
It's persistent
and
viral,
people who have long
sometimes
COVID.
autoimmune,
What are
sometimes
some
chronic
of these kind of
inflammation,
physical
and
changes?
reactivation
And
of seen start.
Talk about a little bit about the science
4 causes.
that might help
Four
explain
different
it.
causes for sure from science.
Yeah,
at
so
least.
there are
From you guys,
definitive
again. You
changes
guys can
that
figure it
people are measuring in the long
You're gonna have to
COVID
do
patients.
science and let me know.
For
I don't know
instance,
how
the
would I
UK
know?
Biobank did a study where they measured COVID survivors' brain mass before and after the infection. The UK Biobank is great
And,
because they're
they
monitoring
did,
for
I mean-
brain MRI
And microglia
just sort of
exercise, that's why.
continuously in people.
They're
And so they
ACE2
were able
receptors
to
or something,
capture
neuropilin 1,
people
this
prior
one.
to their
Neuropilin 1
COVID
is
exposure
normal.
and post-exposure.
It's called neuropilin 1
Compare
for a
that
reason.
to a control group that's
Not only
sort of
assume the quest with the whole cell mediators to start infect, neuropilin 1 has novel sources and can mediate.
And what they found is that there was a greater reduction in the gray matter thickness than the uninfected matched controls. And also greater changes in
And the
markers
host cell
of tissue
protease is
damage
furin
in
locating with the
lesions,
host cell,
connected to
FUR,
the
and you're
primary
new. I mean, that's the
olfactory
thing.
cortex. and also greater reduction in global brain size.
I do not
so
know.
These even happened in non-hospitalized patients,
Yeah.
and that's
Global
a
reduction in,
real sort of
in
physical
brain
change
size.
that we are able to monitor.
So maybe
But
Alexis
it's
and
first
Ellie
of,
being a little stupid in the future is not their fault.
studies that's going to find
Okay.
physical changes in long COVID patients.
Okay, I mean,
What
the
can
women that
explain
fell in
these
love with a
kinds
little
of
stupid in the future.
brain mass
So,
reduction? It's
It's
unclear,
not their
but
fault.
I believe
Well, I mean,
inflammation
if you
is
love
involved.
somebody, they get a little stupid.
Wow, that is really
The
concerning.
women I
You
fell in love
mentioned
with
before,
are a little stupid in the
the
future.
arena
so
of, say, autoimmune
it might not be their fault then.
disorders. Some of these
Andrew
things
is
are just
has a my
at
IQ
this
is
point not
137.
reversible. Is that
When I have
kind
post-traumatic
of,
stress, I got
kind of an
measured.
overarching theme here?
Andrew's I'm just over
Well,
the
I
Mensa
don't want
age.
to give off the
I mean,
impression that long
I can join
COVID is
Mensa if I want to.
permanent because
I qualify.
people,
So,
a fraction of
just
people are
over.
recovering
It's
gradually.
132 to join
And
Mensa.
so
I
if
have
you follow the
137,
course
but,
of these
Andrew's
symptoms
very,
over
very
time,
intelligent. So.
there's a definite gradual reduction, but it's not going to
And this
zero.
is from after
So
I did
it's really
COVID, by
those
the
fraction of
way. I
people
was just
who
like,
are
don't wanna
still
brag.
suffering after 2
I
years
got
of having
COVID.
had
I got
COVID. And how do we treat
So my
those
brain
people?
mass is
And
probably
is there
less
something
now
that we can
than
do
before
to
COVID,
reset
and
or
I'm still
reverse
137.
the disease?
So
And again,
I am very,
depending
very
on
intelligent.
the
I'm
disease
just very, very
etiology,
intelligent.
the treatment will be
So,
quite different.
And I think you guys should be
We talked a
fine.
little
Both of you
bit
should be fine
before
because
just
when you're
kind of
really intelligent
translating this
before.
into the practical
People go
world of a
over.
physician
Wait a second,
who has a
one second,
patient
one
walk in.
Yeah. 1 second, the Biden video is going through. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. This is autoplay. 1 second. It's August 24, 2024. 1 second. Doki doki. Doki doki. Okay, okay. This was much better. Yeah, sorry. Rap. Okay, back to this. Still August 24, 2025. Hi, Mr. President. Still August 24, 2025. I have to find a new video of Anthony Fauci with Dr. Walensky, Dr. Rochelle Walensky. CDC director, Rochelle Walensky. Biden learning Jr. Sorry, I have to find a new video. The
It could be one
Biden
of
video
a
is
set of
over.
200 different symptoms.
This
but,
is
you know,
Biden's
really
video.
post-COVID infection.
They might have
How do
contact
you
you.
advise a physician in terms of like what the first step is in treatment?
This might be a.
Well, right now we lack enough data to be able to advise the physician as to the treatment options. But what we really
Even in
need to do is to
2025, we do not know how
understand
to
these
treat
different
this, by the way.
endotypes
I'm so sorry.
that underlie the disease for
Different
long
endotypes, which is
COVID. If there
different
are
causes,
4
you know.
distinct endotypes that are
Yeah.
caused by different things,
That's what I just.
we need to treat them differently.
Like,
So for each endotype, we need a
inflammation,
biomarker or biomarkers, and then we
autoimmune,
can sort
which
of separate the
probably,
patients
hopefully not
into
something.
the right kind of disease.
persistent viral reservoir or
treatment
reactivation
pathways.
of
So
some
if the
viral
patients
virus.
are suffering
For
from
that we know,
autoimmunity, we
scientific,
need to give
for
them
sure.
immunosuppressives.
In the future, from science.
And
From science.
if the
Not
patients
just
are having
making shit up.
persistent virus
Actual science.
infection,
So,
we need to give them
science is actual
antivirals.
people.
And so the
The
kinds
thing
of
is, you
treatment
can,
will
even if you
obviously
know what the
differ,
cause is, you still have to do the
depending on the
research.
cause of disease.
That way, I can actually tell
You know,
you the
with
cause with
the kind of
scientific
percent of
backing.
people that you were
I mean, you
talking
don't
about
technically need
in
it.
some of these
Because I'm gonna
wide range
remember
of
this.
symptoms. I guess it's not surprising that you've talked
About time.
previously about
I have a unique brain.
concern about
That's
a
a unique brain.
parallel.
When the
pandemic
timeline
among
changes,
COVID patients,
Andrew can remember.
that could be on the horizon.
There's also
It's kind
another
of a
problem that when somebody
pandemic
changes
after the
Andrew's
pandemic.
timeline, I don't remember,
I
by
guess you
the
could
way.
say, is our
Temporal
health
science
system
that
equipped to
you
care for these patients, and if not, what
When
do we
somebody
need to do?
changes my life, my past, I don't
Yes, it
remember
is
that
a
it
parallel
changed.
pandemic because
and
it's
not
happening at the same time.
I found that out in
acute infections are
2024,
happening.
2025, that you
And
can actually
it will
erase
be a
me.
much longer
When I
lasting
erase other
pandemic
people,
than
when
the
I change
acute
the timeline for other people, they
infections
do not
because
remember the old
people are going to be
timeline.
suffering
They
from
remember the new
illness.
timeline, only the new timeline.
And our current
And,
healthcare
so
system
I'm
is
not that
not
special.
well
Andrew's the
equipped
same
to
as other
care
human
for
beings.
the millions of people
We can
suffering
actually
from
alter the
COVID.
timeline But
the
be
patients
careful.
need a
The
coordinated care
consequences
system, really,
is the OU
where
do
they
not
can be
exist anymore.
plugged into network of physicians
And
specializing
if you
in
erase
long
Andrew,
COVID
you
issues,
erase me.
whether it be
The old me doesn't exist
cardiologist,
anymore. I will not
neurologist,
remember the old me.
pulmonologist,
So
gastroenterologist,
yeah, I mean, be
dermatologist, or
careful.
whatever
Todd
they
and Andy
need.
gotta be very careful
And
when
they
you're
need to
interacting
be
with
all
Andrew,
educated to be able to
because
recognize
you can
and treat
actually
the
erase
patients
Andrew. The
appropriately.
telepathic man communicating
I
to
think
you,
there should be
you
a
can actually do
coordinated
it. It is
care
we live in a
that the
world where you can
physicians
actually
can
alter
be
the timeline. The
can
past.
see
You can alter
these
the past.
patients immediately
Back to
through
the
a
Future is
network of
scientifically real
specialists,
from what I
and
can
that
discover.
doesn't really exist
And it
in
is
many
seriously
places.
frightening because there's one
Last
thing I need to
question,
tell you.
you're one of a group of public health
Here's the thing
experts
that we have to be
that
careful,
issued
Todd,
a
and Andy, that we need to
136-page
know.
document about
If
moving
Andrew
the
can be
nation
erased,
into
and I do not remember,
the next normal,
it is
which outlines
possibly
strategies for
scientifically
living with
to generate
COVID-19
a
in the
permanent
future. And of
timeline.
course, one of those 12 key
Like you have a
focus
timeline,
areas
one
of
timeline,
work
timeline
is
one,
about
timeline one goes to timeline two because of an alteration time.
how do we
And then
live
timeline
with
two goes to
COVID
timeline three
going forward.
from an alteration in timeline.
Yeah, so
And timeline three goes to timeline four for an alteration in
write a
timeline.
roadmap
And
for
then
the
timeline
next
four goes to
normal.
timeline one for an
And our
alteration in
chapter
timeline.
was on the
If we
long
do
COVID.
that,
I'm delighted to
timeline one
announce
goes to
that
two, goes to
President
three, goes
Biden
to four, and
announced
then four
a
goes to
plan
one.
for dealing
That
with
is a
long
time limit.
COVID.
If we
And many
generate
of
a
what
time
we
limit and nobody
proposed
knows
were
that we are
actually
in a time limit,
incorporated in that
it is the
document.
end
So
of human
very,
civilization.
very pleased that
Because we would
the
never be able to pick up.
administration was
We would just not know that we are in time.
keen on incorporating many
So
of the
be
suggestions.
very, very careful.
Basically,
when
what we
altering the timeline.
proposed and are incorporated in this new
Todd and Andy
strategy
will be
is
very, very careful.
establishing task
I mean, from
force
what I can
that
just
coordinate
detect, most
interagency
of the time it
activities
just
because there
generates
are
a new
many
continuum
agencies that are
and not a
working
loop.
on long COVID,
So
but the
whenever at a
coordination
time I
is
get an
lacking
alteration
so
in time,
far.
Andrew does an
And
alteration
we
in time,
also
and somebody
need
else
to
makes a decision.
create scientific
Because
and
technically
regulatory
speaking,
response for
you guys alter the
characterizing
timeline. Every
and then
people, I send information back every
counting long
time.
COVID,
And you have
and
information from the
also
future, and you make a decision
understanding
to
the
not do
basic
what I
disease
said actually
pathogenesis,
happened.
so we can start
You
doing
make a
planning
decision
for
to
clinical
alter
trials
time.
based on that
You guys
understanding.
make decisions all the time.
And
I just
again,
make the decision to tell
as
you
I
stuff.
mentioned, there needs to
So,
be a
anyway, one second.
consensus-based
One
guideline
second.
for
Anyway, hold on. Crap. Where's the fuck? Sorry. I need to find more of President Trump. I'm gonna refresh it because this should be over. This is latest, and then this should be good because and then the Trump presidency. So, more policy advisory and crap. Sorry, I need to brush my teeth. Icky. Even 35 8 survivors of heat. Oh, that's good. Who is that woman? I don't have no idea what it is. Opening America again. Nation's farmers. How about cabinet meeting? Oh my goodness. A cabinet meeting I haven't seen. Wait, when is this cabinet meeting? Let me see. 1 second. When is this cabinet meeting? Oh my god. This is May. I was talking to them in June. What do you mean that cabinet meeting? Opening America again. What was the one that I just saw? I mean, because I just saw in June is the cabinet. Oh, there it is. That's why. Crap. This is a cabinet meeting that I have not seen. May 19, 2020. So I'm watching this out of order. It's August 24, 2025 for Andrew. So I'm so sorry. Cabinet meeting is important. Okay. I failed the president's cabinet meeting. It's cabinet in May now.
Management of long COVID. And of course, we need to make sure that ensure adequate health and social
Well, I will
support
see the
is provided
American-
to the patients.
Dr. Iwasaki, thank you so much.
I mean, there
for
must be other stuff with talk
spending
because
time with
long
us talking about this.
Yeah.
It's clearly
It is August
Mr.
24,
Critical, I press to understand and
2025.
thank you
I've been
also,
helping the
you and your
World Health
colleagues, for
Organization too, so
all the work that
you don't
you're
have
doing
to
try
feel the all the
bring
way
some light to
the
what
World
is a
Health
very, very
Organization
dark
briefs
problem
about
right now.
once again. Thank you for educating me.
That's it
about
for
that.
today's COVID-19 update. We'll be
Serotonin.
back with another segment shortly.
Yeah, thank you for
In the
educating me
meantime,
about the
visit
serotonin. I did not know.
ama-ssn.org/COVID-19
You need to do a study of
for more
circulating
resources.
serotonin.
Thanks for
Somebody
joining us
gonna do a
today.
study.
Please
That's
take
a video.
care.
You know, it's like a study. Okay. Mr. President, let me say once again. I need to eat something. I need to eat something. Mr. President, if you don't mind, I'm gonna eat something. It's Sunday, August 24, 2025, 2:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Andrew. My name's Andrew. I'm pretty sure. And I started talking to you in June about the. I don't need to tell you everything that I know. Dr. Anthony Fauci's on the Biden mission. I'm not positive. That's good. I need to eat. I'm sorry. Andrew needs to eat.